Hello everyone, this is Umashankar. Welcome to my channel Join Hands. Our main motto is to deliver the quality content which is mainly focuses on the various areas related to Sarkari exams like UPSC, groups etc. With no delay, let's get into the topic. Today's hot topic is unilateralism and multilateralism. Let's see the agenda. We will be discussing in detail in the upcoming slides. 1. Why in news? 2. What is unilateralism? 3. What is multilateralism? 4. Difference between unilateralism and multilateralism. 5. Advantages and disadvantages. 6. Examples. So now let's see why this is the hot topic in the news currently. Here are few details about it. 1. LAC clash. Jaishankar calls out China for breaking the unilateral pact, blames it for tense situation. 2. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Tuesday blamed China for tense situation between the two countries and called out the country for disobeying the pact. 3. We had agreements with China not to mass forces in our border areas and they have not observed those agreements, which is why we have currently tense situation. We had an agreement not to unilaterally change the line of control, which they have tried to unilaterally do, and I quoted the minister as saying. 4. Indian and Chinese troops clashed along the line of actual control, LAC, in the Tawan sector of Arunachal Pradesh on December 9 and the face-off resulted in minor injuries to a few personnel from both sides, according to the Indian Army. 5. It is the first major clash between the Indian and Chinese armies since the fierce face-off in the Galwan Valley in June 2020 that marked the most serious military conflict between the two sides in decades. What is unilateralism? Unilateralism is any doctrine or agenda that supports one-sided action. Such action may be in disregard for other parties, or as an expression of a commitment toward a direction which other parties may find disagreeable. As a word, unilateralism is attested from 1926, specifically relating to unilateral disarmament. The current, broader meaning emerges in 1964. It stands in contrast with multilateralism, the pursuit of foreign policy goals alongside allies. Unilateralism as first course of action can be viewed as an act of aggression or hard power. Unilateral sanctions violate the United Nations Charter and inhibit development of developing countries. Unilateral action is often elected on behalf of independent leaders with nationalist tendencies and a strong distrust for the intentions of other countries' intervention. In recent years, unilateral action is adjacent with nationalism, protectionism and rejection towards institutions that embody multilateral approach. I.e., the United States adopting protectionist trade policy during the mid-2010s against the multilateral interests of the World Trade Organization. Now let's see what is multilateralism. Multilateralism, in the form of membership in international institutions, serves to bind powerful nations, discourage unilateralism, and gives small powers a voice and influence that they could not otherwise exercise. For a small power to influence a great power, the Lilliputian strategy of small countries banding together to collectively bind a larger one can be effective. Similarly, multilateralism may allow one great power to influence another great power. For a great power to seize control through bilateral ties could be costly. It may require bargaining and compromise with the other great power. Difference between unilateralism and multilateralism. Unilateralism is approach relations in which countries without thought of the interest of other countries and, without that support, there is still the question as to what multilateralism is. Multilateralism is defined as the exact opposite. It is a simple act of working cooperatively with other nations. Experts often agree that the positive aspects of multilateralism far outweigh the negative aspects. Nations use later elections, which is considering how something might affect all nations as a way of maintaining peaceful foreign policy and the goals of the world as a whole. The number one bus of multilateralism is to foster positive world relations. The world order which was created at the end of World War II could not function without use of multilateral action. It has been maintaining peace and prosperity, then used properly, for almost a century now. It similarly helps multiple nations address the global financial crisis and promote financial stability of the world with more tranquility was ever been done before.
Now let's see the advantages and disadvantages of both. The main advantage of unilateralism is: number 1, any decision will be taken independently and can be implemented very quick. And the disadvantage with unilateralism is: number 1, the resources are limited to that particular body. there will be less impact and effect when it comes to global issues. The main advantage of multilateralism is: number 1, the resources are abundant, in which it helps to share the load among the resources, and this entirely promotes unity. And the disadvantage with multilateralism is: number 2, consumes time in making the decision with the opinions considered from the different bodies. Now let's see an example which promotes unilateralism and multilateralism. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe, and let us know for further queries or any topics in the comment section.